everybody, I'm Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 124 of The Mesh Tongue. It is Thursday. I'm having a fantastic day. Hopefully you are as well. And hey, big weekend here for the Boyles in Utah. Got a son going for First Communion in the Catholic Church, so we've got big family events, lots of folks flying in from all over. So good stuff, good stuff. Anybody got anything good and exciting going on in their neck of the woods? Let me know. And you know how this goes. Brian, B-R-I-A-N at company5k.com. That's the number 5. And we'll be happy to get any email responses back to you within about 24 hours. This weekend may be a little crazy, so maybe about 48, but we'll get to you as it goes. So hopefully you got some value from yesterday. We talked about the piriformis, and one of those things that we talked about in the piriformis was using either a racquetball or a lacrosse ball. Now the reason why is what I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to talk about trigger points, and I'm going to talk about why they're there and what you can do, and just a little physiology behind that. So trigger points are a collection of byproducts in the muscle, whether it's from fatigue, if the muscle's been stretched, if you've got poor posture, or if you sit wrong, or if you're sitting lopsided, and the muscle happens to begin, elongated and it starts to fatigue, 9 times out of 10 it will start to spasm into this protective spasm, and then this trigger point forms. Trigger point then becomes all of the ions, minerals, fun stuff that's kind of in there and collecting. If you have any inflammation in there from overuse, that'll stay in there, and then what ends up happening is we get this gigantic knot in the muscle, and sometimes we have latent trigger points, sometimes we have active trigger points. But those latent ones are the ones when somebody comes by and rubs your shoulder and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it was that sore. The active ones are when you're getting some referral pain down somewhere, whether it's down the leg or down the shoulder, whatever it may be, and you're getting some pain, and we start pressing around and you go, oh, that's my pain, and it resolves. The key with all of these and the trigger points is to hold pressure. So whether it's through sitting on a lacrosse ball, racquetball, taking your own thumb, having somebody else take their elbow. These are all fantastic ways to alleviate this. A handheld massager, and holding it on the trigger point. What you're looking for is the ones that refer pain or are probably the worst. Okay, so if you poke around in there and you're like, ooh, that's kind of sore, more sore, and you're like, okay, yeah, like, oh boy, that's really pretty sore. In the hips, especially, around the greater trochanter, that bone on the outside of the hip, piriformis. You may get some of these down into the outside of the thigh, rather than being the IT band, the vastus lateralis, and part of the quadriceps. We'll get these nice, things, these nice nodules on there. So what you'll do is you'll take your thumb and you'll apply the pressure, okay, and you'll apply that pressure until you feel that it's either stopped shooting or it goes away underneath the thumb. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes it takes a minute, whatever the case may be. If it doesn't go away, what I usually do is you lighten up the pressure. Okay, so you lighten up and then you go right back into it. Okay, and then again you can lighten up or take the pressure off, but you don't want to lose that spot, so just kind of lighten up and then go right back into it. This again, most oftentimes will alleviate this, and then you go to the next one. Now, is it possible to have more than one trigger point and then also in multiple layers of the muscles, depending on the body part? Absolutely. So you may do a trigger point release session today. Go back to it again tomorrow. Find that you've got new trigger points or just different areas. Okay, that's part of the game. If you're really, really suffering and you've got a lot of these, I'd get in to see somebody that can get some good hands-on, some good elbow and or thumb or tool to get in there. Most of us aren't sadists. We can't sit and just kind of hold these things, especially if they're really, really bad. Just had a patient today that was just completely awful. Felt better afterwards, but just there was no way that she was going to do that to herself. So it is what it is. Sometimes, like I say, you have to bite the bullet and get in and see one of us. But that is trigger points. Hopefully you find some value in this. Hold it long enough to dissipate that pain. Either release, go back in, release, go back in, or just hold it long enough. Either way. So that's it. Hopefully you find some value in this. If you are needing anything, Brian, B-R-I-A-N at company5k.com via email. I'll get back to you. That's episode 124 of The Mesh Tongue. I'll see you again tomorrow. Whatever you do, don't go hurting yourself to come back. But please, find value, share this with your friends, your family, training partners. See you again. All right, take care.